In this tutorial, we will be creating a set of messy and sexy, effortless mermaid waves. I will also be demonstrating a slight variation to create more organized Korean water waves. Both of these looks are actually created with just a hair straightener, so you don't need to worry about running out to buy any fancy waving hot tools. Let's begin with the mermaid waves. Make sure your hair has been generously covered with heat tamer before we begin. Pull up most of your hair, leaving out a very small section at the bottom. Grab a small section of hair from the very left and clip it near your roots with a straightener. Flip it up 180 degrees while we pull the straightener down, and then flip it down 180 degrees while we pull the straightener down. Continue this motion while alternating between flipping up and down until you reach the tips of your hair. The length of hair you move through in either direction before flipping the iron determines how tight or loose your waves will be. Also, if you find that your waves are not as defined as you want them to be, either take smaller sections or move your straightener a little bit slower. Take the next section and repeat this process. Continue until you're done with the entire horizontal portion. Don't worry about making the bottom sections too perfect. We just want them to have some texture so they blend in. To make this appear more casual, messy, and I suppose more natural, try alternating the direction you begin flipping the straightener as you move along a section. So if you start the very left section by flipping your iron upwards, begin the next one by flipping it down. Do this randomly, and the waves will look very effortless and disorganized. Continue this all the way around your head and gradually make your way towards the top of your head. Take smaller sections and take more care creating the waves for the upper layers because these are more likely to show and we don't want any awkward kinks or neglected stray pieces to poke out. Once you are done with your entire head of hair, gently brush out the waves and hairspray for hold. This is the completed look for the casual and messy mermaid wave, which is really gorgeous and perfect in my honest opinion for hitting the beach, casual summer nights out, and maybe even for a music festival. For the neater, Korean water wave variation, we begin again with a hair misted with heat tamer. Take larger sections for this version and use the same technique as demonstrated earlier. Grab a section and clip it in between the irons. Flip the iron up and down while pulling it through the entire strand. The only differences between this version and the mermaid wave shown earlier is that for this style, we drag the iron for longer before changing the rotation to create larger and looser waves. Also, do not alternate the initial flat iron rotation direction throughout an entire horizontal section. So if you start on the very left by flipping the iron up, then continue all the way across by flipping up to begin with, and then down and then up and then down. So do not change that pattern for an entire horizontal section. Continue the waving process until you reach the top of your head, taking smaller sections as you move upwards. Once you've completed all of the waves, run your fingers through the strands and hairspray for hold. This is the final product for the girly Korean water waves, which is more suitable for dates, presentations, formal gatherings, or anything that requires you to be really proper and a bit more put together. Here again is a recap of the two hairstyles we created in this tutorial. The first is the messy and casual mermaid waves, and the second is the larger and looser Korean water waves. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to either leave them down below or hit me up on Twitter @SarenBaby, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, guys!